everybody. Welcome in. Today we have Mcd00dle on, who is talking. Mcd00dle is a wonderful, talented musician. She plays the saxophone, the ukulele, the ocarina. She sings. She has her degree in music. She's also a teacher and also just an amazing streamer overall. How are you doing today? Thank you for being here.
That was such an introduction. What the heck? I don't even introduce myself that well. That was really good.
Absolutely not.
But I'm doing good. I had a really great day. I hung out with a good paleo, two good paleos today,
Oh, yeah.
and it was a pretty good day. So, yeah.
All right, and the hair is slaying. Let's go.
Thank
Crazy.
you. Day 3 hair slay.
So to get started, I don't know if you want to tell everyone like a little bit about you. Love to know how you got into music, how you got into streaming.
Oh man. Well, they're both kind of funny stories. The first one is a little funnier, but the TLDR is that it's like two different things. So how did I get into music? I've been playing music since I was in like 4th grade. Now I'm pushing 30. But anyway, so yeah, the way I started is because like my brother had started learning trumpet when he was in 4th grade. So I don't know, I was like, I kind of just liked copying my brother and what he did and stuff. So I figured I was gonna, I'm gonna do music too probably. And when it came time to do it, my mom was like, we have a saxophone at home. Like when you ask your mom to get, McDonald's and then she's like, we have food at home.
Yeah.
Well, we had saxophone at home. So I was like, okay, I guess I'm going to play the sax. Like, girl, that's crazy. I low-key wanted to play flute and clarinet. Like I wanted a cute instrument, but instead we have a saxophone. So yeah, I honestly did not like it either. I like kind of hated it because I was pretty short and I had small hands and I was like, this is not the vibe low key. And I played it for like a month and I was like, yo, low key, I think I'm going to switch to trumpet because that's what my brother played. And we literally talked to the music teacher and everything. And we are like, yeah, she's actually going to play trumpet now. And he was like, okay, yeah, whatever. Sounds good. Whatever. And for whatever reason, I didn't switch. Like, we had a conversation, didn't even end up switching. Like, that was useless. I don't know. I just kept doing it. And then I kept doing it. And then I kept doing it. And then I majored in it. And here we are now. So, I don't know. It was kind of accidental. A little bit. I don't know. It wasn't. Shout out my mom. She knew something I didn't, I guess. I did end up learning flute and oboe like a year or two later, but sax ended up being like my favorite of the 3, and that's what I ended up continuing to play in middle school, then high school, and then college, and then now.
Okay. So what I'm hearing is you got Stockholm syndrome from the...
Yeah, basically, yeah. I'm sax. So yeah, a little bit.
Enemies to lovers situation. Yeah.
Enemies to lovers. Enemies to lovers.
So when you got to college, was like that the first thing that you were like, okay, this just makes sense for me to major in music? Or was there anything else that you were like, maybe I want to do this?
Girl, my story is so wild. Oh my God. No, that was like my last choice. Guy. Okay, I did not want to major in music. To be honest, I did not. I was like, no, straight up no. And it was kind of weird how it ended up happening. Because what kind of happened was that I was like, I didn't know what I wanted to do, like whatsoever. I remember it was like senior year, and like I didn't actually really know how college worked, like, cause I don't know, like nobody I knew very directly like went to college, so like I didn't really understand that you had to apply with a major in mind. So when it came time to do so, I was like, oh, word. I didn't actually, girl, I thought, that's crazy. So anyway, so I literally spent senior year, like fall senior year, just like grabbing a Chromebook during English class and Googling top jobs, best careers, what to get a degree in. And I like had no idea. I was like, okay, I'm very confusion. So I ended up applying to multiple schools as a science major. I applied like differently at every school too. Like you're supposed to probably apply as the same thing everywhere. I didn't. I was like, all right. I applied to one school as an aerospace engineer. I applied at another as like civil engineer. I applied at another as like undeclared science. I don't know what I was doing. Anyway, nothing music related at all. It was all like STEM and science because I straight up did not know what I wanted to do, but I did know that engineers made money. That's all I knew.
Okay.
Anyway, so anyway, yeah,
Woman in STEM. Cover your bases.
I had literally no business applying the way I did. It was literally just like, I guess you can make money doing that. And anyway, and so, oh my God, that scared me. Thank you.
Let's go chemistry.
Thank you. Can you hear my alerts?
No.
Oh, okay, good. Thank you. So yeah, anyway, sorry, long story short, I got into a couple colleges, not really the ones I wanted to get into, and I was like, well, dang. I really want to go to this one college though, so what are the odds that I appeal and I say, oopsie daisies, I should have actually been a music major all along because I thought that was my best chance at getting in because my credentials musically, I was like, yeah, I got that dog in me. Like, I'm for sure. I got all these, I did extra music things. You know what? Why not? So then I ended up hitting up my friend who was attending this college as a music major and I was like, hey, so like, how do I get in? She was like, oh, you have to like audition. And I was like, mind you, this was like March of senior year, mind you. Like auditions, they're like happening now. You know what I mean? Like they already happened a long time ago. People were already getting their letters back. I did get waitlisted at this school. This is the school I applied to as an aerospace engineer, by the way, Lamau. They waitlisted me and then I didn't get in. But I was like, I really want to get in. So then I appealed to the admissions office saying, yeah, I should be. Oh my gosh, we just got a raid. Thank you for the raid, Kendra. Thank you.
Raid.
Oh my gosh, hi guys.
Thank you, Wicked, for the
Hello.
follow.
We're doing an interview right now with Who's Chelsea. You guys should go follow her. You should check her out. Oh my God, that is a massive raid. Thank you. And Kendra, how was your stream? Hello. But yeah, I'm telling a story about how I got into college as a music major when I didn't want to become a music major. So I appealed and said I should be a music major, hee hee, and then they were like, well, that's cool. You still need to audition though, probably. So then I hit up the sax teacher at this college and I was like, hey, I know you don't know me and I don't know you, but can I audition like really late to get in? And he was like, well, I don't know what this is going to do for you, quite frankly, but I guess so. Can you come in on Thursday? Mind you, it was Monday. And I was like, bruh, I guess so. I don't really, oh my God. So then I practiced for 2 days for this audition that most people spend months on practicing. And yeah, I did it. And then he was like, oh, yeah, you're pretty good, I guess. So like, well, I guess I'll write to the office and let them know what happened here today. And I was like, okay, slay.
Okay.
Cool. He was like, yeah, no guarantees. This probably is not going to work straight up. And I was like, okay, for sure. Why not though? And yeah, and he spent like 2 weeks going back and forth with me, kind of just like, oh, we're going to see. I'm going to talk to the dean of the school, see if we can get you in. And then he was like, we can't get you in because you don't play like oboe or bassoon. Like you play a very common instrument. So like, we can't get you in. Sorry, buddy. And I was like, oh man, all of that for nothing. But then again, it was a long shot anyways, to be fair. And then like a day later, he was like, wait, actually, let me see what I can do. And then a day later, I got my admission. And that's how I became a music major. Anyway.
Dang, let's go.
So, kind of a weird situation, low-key. But we got in. We did it. We got in. That's the story. But yeah, thanks for being here, by the way, guys. If you're new here, sorry if you don't mind me saying. If you're new here, I'm Mcd00dle. I play saxophone and a bunch of other random instruments like the ocarina, the uke, and recorder and stuff. And Kendra, thank you for the raid again. If you guys don't know Kendra, you should check her out. She's an incredible musician. Holy cow. She absolutely slays the day on everything she does. So please go give her a follow. And I hope you had a freaking great stream. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness. But yeah, also thanks, Helpims.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, that's the T.
Kendra W, for real. That's so funny. Yeah, it's always funny
Kendra.
How life just takes you where you want to go. And I don't know. It just feels like sometimes if things are meant to work out, they'll work out no matter what the conditions are.
I know, right? I mean, it's kind of crazy. Like, I don't know how things kind of end up happening. So, yeah, I genuinely did. Yeah, there's a little bit more to the lore, to be fair, but that's like the TLDR. That's the like, I'm not getting into trauma part of the lore. So that's basically what happened. All
Yeah.
right. So, yeah.
And then
Anyways, it's kind of crazy.
after that, so after, you got in your music major, I know you were a teacher for a little bit and you still do teaching as well as streaming, but was teaching like the first thing you initially wanted to get into as well? I know you probably didn't really have much of an idea, but was it always like, okay, I want to teach, or is it something you just fell into, or were you maybe hoping to like maybe one day be a part of a band, or was there any idea what you wanted to do with that?
Honestly, no. Honestly, I think I just kind of
Girl.
like I don't know what was in my brain, to be honest with you. Like my frontal lobe low-key was like, yeah, it was severely not developed. So I was just kind of like, okay, well, I got into this music school, and when I got in, like, you just kind of defaulted to music education was the default major.
Hmm.
And then it was like, oh, well, you can like theoretically you can become a performance major, which is like, you get more lessons. You like, theoretically that track is more for people who like, obviously want to be in a band or something. I don't know. So I was like, oh, like how do I do that? And then, I mean, you just essentially kind of like take a audition and then you can double major if you want to. And I was like, oh, well, why not? I don't know. What do I got going on? So I was kind of following the footsteps of that said friend that I had known. I was just kind of doing what she was doing, low key. So that's why I was like, oh, sure. And then I became a performance major. And then I was like, okay, cool. And like after that, I did both degrees and whatever. A lot of it just overlapped. And then, like after you get your ed degree, like just the next thing to do is to go get your credential. Like that, they kind of just set you up. Like, all right, cool. Well, now you have to go get your credential. This is what you need to do. So I was like, all right, I guess so. Like that's
Hmm.
just what I'm doing. Like a lot of it wasn't really like, oh, it's because I want to do it. It was kind of like, oh yeah, no, I do like doing it. To be fair, it's not that I hate it. I do genuinely like it. I do love teaching. It's just it wasn't exactly like a, oh, this is what I'm going to do because I want to do it. It's more of like a, oh yeah, no, that makes sense. That's the next step, basically.
Okay.
So
That makes sense.
it's
Again,
like a really odd way of going. I don't know. I was just kind of going with where the wind was taking me, essentially.
yeah, and that's nice. And do you like it? Do you like teaching?
I do. I do really like teaching. I think, yeah, just this last year taught me a lot about myself and about teaching and about how hard it is, and especially how hard it is when you're trying to balance that with being a streamer. And I think that's ultimately why I decided to take the year off to see what the heck. And also, again, I mean, like I kind of a little bit fell into teaching. Like I do love it. But I don't know. I think I didn't realize, I guess when I went into teaching, I was kind of under the impression that I was going into teaching because I couldn't go into performing. Because quite frankly, I was not the best at my school, you know? And I don't mean that as I'm putting myself down. I mean quite literally, like if we were gonna rank everybody who's playing saxophone at the school I went to,
Hmm.
like quite literally, I fell somewhere here. You know what I mean? Like we had to audition every year. Like I knew where I was there, So like I just assumed, I'm not the best. And unfortunately, a lot of times the best, or even people who just have, connections, they're going to get into the bands, they're going to get the gigs, they're going to get this or that. And quite honestly, like, I'm not there. So I'm not going to be a performer, is what I essentially kind of resolved, and I was okay with that. And then Twitch happened, and I was like, wait, what the heck? Like, that's kind of crazy. Like, that kind of like changed everything, I guess.
Yeah.
So.
Speaking of that,
Yeah.
how did you end up finding yourself on Twitch? Like, how did you find out the platform? What was your journey to get here?
It was kind of funny. So it was COVID, COVID streamer.
Let's go.
Um, and I didn't know anything about Twitch actually. Like I didn't know anything. I knew that Pokimane was a streamer. That's all I knew.
Okay.
And yeah. So I remember I was talking with my friend, and I was like, "Brother, I need to lock in. I need to practice. Like I don't know. I was so bad at practicing. Like I mean, just sitting down and doing it, not like."
Mm.
But like I was really bad at just like, okay, girl, do it. Like sit down, spend an hour doing it. Like I remember every week my lesson, it was always just like, how do I get my teacher to talk about literally anything else so he doesn't hear me play, so he doesn't know how severely under practiced I am right now. Anyway, I was very good at it, by the way. getting him off track. Anyways, so I don't know. One day I was with my friend. I was like, girl, I need to lock in. Like, oh my goodness, like, what the heck is happening? So then I was like, what if we created like a practice log, like a practice diary? And like, what does that look like? So then I was like, well, I don't want to just take a video of the good stuff. Like, I want to take a video of the whole practice session. So then I was like, okay, what if I make like a fake Facebook account where I'm just like posting lives to? I was like, and I did make a fake Facebook account, and I was
Okay.
like, and then I was like, well, I've heard of Twitch, and I know you can live stream there. Maybe, okay, cool. I'll just, like, why not? I guess so. What do I have to lose? So I made a Twitch, and then I started like just practicing, and like I thought it was just gonna be like a diary. You know what I mean? Like a
Yeah.
place for me to just have my VODs and see the progression over time. I did not know that VODs got deleted, by the way. Lumau, dude.
Oh
I
no.
didn't Girl, I literally thought it was gonna be like a diary.
Oh no.
So, yeah, but then I was even more surprised when MFs started coming in the chat and we're like, "Yo, play Fly to the Moon." And I was like, "Oh my, I'm practicing right now. Why are you watching me?" And
Yeah.
why are people watching this? This is crazy. And yeah, I didn't realize that people would watch my stream. That was like, I was baffled. So anyway, yeah, that's kind of where it started. And then I don't know, people would come and be like, "Hey," while I'd be playing scales and like this random stuff for school, like, "Hey, can you play Flame of the Moon?" Yeah, that's way easier than what I have to do right now. And so yeah, and then just kind of I started like researching more Twitch and like, oh, there's like a whole music thing going on here, like for real. And this is like how they have their stuff set up. So I started kind of adopting that into my own stream. Like, so it became less of a practice stream over the time, and eventually it became more of a, traditional music stream where you take requests and all of that stuff.
That's awesome.
So it was accidental. Everything I do is accidental, low-key. I don't know.
Hey, you're just going with the flow, all right? You're just going with how it's handed to you. Also, guys, I put in the chat, if you guys have any questions, we'll be taking some questions from the chat for Mcd00dle at the end. If you want to post some, I'll try to keep in mind where they're at. So starting on Twitch and like not really knowing anything, what would you say has been like the most difficult thing to overcome?
Oh my gosh, that's such a good question. I feel like I talk with you a lot about the things. What difficult things to overcome? Honestly, I mean, I don't know if there's like a top, but my mind, at least in my heart, like with the first thing that gets screamed out to me is sometimes like the drama that you find yourself involved in, or like the weird situations with people. Whether that could be another streamer, that could be, I don't know, just people.
Yeah.
So I would say that's a little bit difficult sometimes, low key.
Yeah.
In the nicest way without saying anything low key, without spilling tea. Sometimes that's hard.
Yeah. It could be hard when you are like dealing with these type of like just like different internet relationships and how things work on the internet. Yeah, it definitely be difficult at times, especially like when you get into the grander scope of like meeting other streamers and like finding yourself I don't know, it could just be, it's like a different social world than how it is actually in the social world, for sure.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just, and like that could mean a bunch of different situations too. Like it's not just one, it's a bunch of situations. So yeah, it's kind of, exactly, like the slippery parasocial slope. Yeah, sometimes like that kind of stuff is probably some of the crazier stuff to have to deal with. And it doesn't happen on a day-to-day basis, but when you're in the thick of it, it's a crazy time. So I would say that's more some of the more difficult, how do I navigate this type of situations. And obviously, I would say that's the biggest one. But yeah, I don't know. I think really that is the biggest one for me. I don't know. Sometimes it's just being careful and like, I don't know. It's unfortunate too because you want to just like, I want to believe the best of everything and like, oh, this is a wonderful place that's had so many good memories and situations and happiness. But then at the same time, sometimes you find yourself a lot more jaded after the fact and you're like, I need to close myself off. Like, you're like, ah, dang it. But I'm not a closed off person, but I feel like I have to be because I've unfortunately been done a little too dirty.
Yeah.
And that sucks because I'm a very trusting person.
Yeah.
And I want to believe the best in everybody. And and then,
I feel like you learn a lot of lessons being on Twitch, whether it's good or bad. But do you have maybe like a good lesson or something favorable that like just Twitch has taught you or that you've taken away from this experience this far?
A good lesson?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I think a lot of it is well, I feel like there's a lot of lessons I could learn out of Twitch, but one of them really is like, girl, like the imposter syndrome, you need to stop being so silly. Like, you
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? Like for me, I feel like I just like never think anything I do is good. Again, before I went into Twitch, I was like, I'm not gonna be a performer because I suck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like just straight up. And then, like this like truly did teach me like, oh, like don't count yourself out. Like you actually have a lot to offer. Like, okay, granted, okay, like you're not the best performer in the world that plays saxophone, but that doesn't mean that you can't still like that people still can't enjoy your music or what you have to offer. And I'm also finding out that like I don't only have music to offer a lot of times because people will be literally so nice and like literally earlier in streams somebody was like, oh, like I haven't seen you stream on TikTok in a while and I just made I made a Twitch account literally 25 minutes ago to come and stop in your stream to watch
Aw.
it because I was watching you while I was at work. And I was like, are you kidding me? Like that's the craziest thing I've ever heard, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
like that's crazy. And it's just like, wow, maybe I do have something to offer. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I don't have to be the best and I don't know. Maybe I am actually good at things or like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy coming from like the world's most talented
I'll cry right now.
musician that I've ever seen. So that's crazy. Also, if y'all haven't heard her sing, absolutely crazy. Absolutely chills. So
Tea.
freaking good. We have some more questions, but if it's okay, I'm gonna go back to the chat because I think
Yeah.
they had a few questions. I know one of them I saw
Yeah.
is, how did you get the name Mcd00dle?
Like, honestly, it was an old gamer tag that I used. I thought it sounded cute. So like when I was making my account, I actually had an account previously that no was kind of like a burner, but um it was just like foolishly named when I made my practice, stream. I named it after like a famous saxophone composer. And then when I was like, "Oh, maybe I should start taking this more seriously." I guess. I don't know. Mcd00dle, like that's something I used to use. I guess that's kind of cute. Oh man, Mcd00dle is taken, obviously. What about Mcd00dle zeros? Slay! And then like that was not taken. And honestly, I was looking for a name that like I don't know, you know what I mean? Like it's so hard to find an original name that somebody isn't already using. You know what I mean? Like let's just say you go with the name Ninja Guy, and it's like, well, there's another very prominent ninja. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
so like trying to find something original, especially now with so many usernames, is like so hard. But I'm like, okay, I don't know of any other Mcd00dle in maybe the world, except apparently it's a book series or something. I don't know with the last name Mcd00dle, but I digress. Anyways, point is that I'm very happy with my username because it feels like a Sesame Street character name. Sometimes I feel a little silly when people ask me what my name is, and I say that.
Yeah.
But it's original, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
And
no,
I
that's
have the
cute.
name on every platform.
Heck yeah, let's go. You got the monopoly. The Mcd00dle monopoly. They said Mcd00dle? Mcd00dle. Oh my god.
Kinjic over
Open
Javi so
source.
you need a new name if I'm gonna take this more seriously. I know.
Super
That's
serious. I need
crazy.
a name. Um,
That's
it's
crazy.
Kirshi wants to know, when you were training to be a teacher, what was your hardest hurdle to overcome?
Bruh. Oh my god. How much time do we have? Drama.
As
Anyway,
long as you want. I mean,
dude. Becoming a teacher? Well, becoming a teacher, I think I'm just really shy and awkward, bro.
mhm.
So, like, I think when I was student teaching, the hardest thing for me was like, oh my God, like, it's hard for me to, like, you know what I mean? Like, talking to the kids, you know what I mean? And, like, talking with the students, like, and trying to not be shy was like really hard for me to do, like break out of my shell and be like, yo, like I'm a literal teacher, like oh my goodness, like you can talk to them. So that was hard for me. I think classroom management is probably the hardest thing of all, like anywhere, even after you become a teacher, like that's not something that necessarily gets easier.
Yeah.
I think, and that leaving teaching last year was one of the things that also helped my decision to leave low key was classroom management, and kids are talking over you and It's just hard, man. It's hard, and I don't know, it's hard to deal with those situations, and especially since like I try to be so nice. And again, the believing the best in everybody. Like I really don't want to yell. I don't want to get mad, but I found myself getting mad and yelling like every single day before I left, and I was just like, bruh, I'm so tired. Like I don't want to do this. It's really hard. I was
Yeah.
like crying on my way to my car. Like it was really bad. So, but again, you can get better at classroom management, and it gets better as you kind of figure it out. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's hard.
That does sound rough. It's hard when like things are out of your control. Like there's nothing you could do about that really. That it's only so much in
Yeah.
your control.
Yeah.
Davy is eating wants to know pancakes, waffles, French toast, or crepes. Very serious question.
Dang, it's gotta be waffles, honestly. In order, honestly, I never thought about crepes in that, but it's gotta go waffles, French toast, pancakes, and crepes are somewhere in there. I honestly don't eat them enough to really know.
And then wants to know what instrument do you want to learn to put in your arsenal?
Dude, honestly, I want to get better at piano. Cause like
Ooh,
I
okay.
learned when you're a music major, you have to take piano. Like, bro, I got piano due at midnight. Like that's crazy. But anyway, you have to learn piano. You have to take a proficiency test. And I took piano for literally 4 semesters and took like a test that I had to pass to prove I could do it. But like, girl, like it's one of those I studied for the test and then I forgot everything after situations. Um, so yeah, I want to actually be able to play it though. Not very good at it, like at all.
Piano is really pretty. That is one thing. I used to play that in kindergarten. I learned piano and
Yeah.
then lost it. I wish I never did because piano it's just so pretty. What about the banjo? Did you learn the banjo?
I would love to learn the banjo. Dude, I saw a banjo in a store one time like 4 years ago and I was like, oh my God. It's so cool, man. Actually, it's not really technically an instrument, I guess, but musically, I do want to learn how to DJ, man.
Ooh,
I want
okay.
to learn how to DJ so bad. That's like at the top of my list of things I want to learn next is DJing. So,
Hell yeah. DJ stream. That'd be awesome. MC
how
Doodle.
sick. Like, I want to be like Grizz. Do you know who Grizz is?
I do not.
So Grizz is a DJ. He's a big DJ and he plays sax during his sets.
Ooh, okay.
So I want to be like the girly pop Grizz.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That'd be awesome.
yeah,
You gotta
yeah. I
start
already
it.
have my DJ name is picked out. It's Dudl in all caps. I feel like like the minimalistic look where you take out a bunch of the letters and you basically just leave like the consonants.
Yeah.
Except for me, yeah, exactly. Like that's the name. It'd be even more like DVDL. Like the V is a U though. Doodle.
Hell yeah.
DVDL.
And then it's gonna be like
No,
BB
it's
No
gotta be
Money
a
where
V.
people like Devinto.
Yeah, they'll be like Doodle. Like, DVDL. Like I don't get it.
DVD large? Like what's happening?
Yeah, DVD large. Yeah,
Perfect.
maybe I'll keep the U actually.
Yeah, I don't know. The V is pretty cool. Yeah, she'll be tearing up EDC one day.
Dude,
Heck yeah.
let me cook, please.
Also,
Please.
small question for me. Is that the same matcha from earlier or did you get a second one?
It's the same one from earlier, I fear.
Okay.
I thought about getting one, and then I didn't.
Okay.
Jeff gifted a sub to. There's already an existing doodle. We're gonna have to fight. We're gonna have to joust,
Oh
I
my
fear.
gosh. Also, just so you know,
Yeah.
I stopped to try to get to get a yerb
Oh, wait,
for
you gifted it.
tonight. Oh my god, what? Thank you. Good
I was
season.
gifted to. Oh, yeah, we have shared chat. That's true.
Oh my god, thank
Wait,
you.
what did you say?
I stopped at 2 places to get a yerb, and they both didn't have it. And then I had to go to like a third place, and then was late for my stream because I could not find them.
Wait, don't you
anyways.
have
I drank
emergency years?
them. Yeah.
Oh
Over the
my gosh,
weekend.
chat.
Yeah, I drank the emergency herb. So
I'm surprised you had those like saved up for a while too.
I know, and then like bam, 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 I needed them. So I'm glad I had them, but they were
Dang.
gone. But now I have two, so we're good. We have two more.
Oh, period. Let's go. I know I have one for tomorrow because LOL. Honk honk, I'm teaching tomorrow.
Girl doesn't sleep, by the way. Just so y'all know. And we have a question from AC Buff. Question from Mcd00dle. Who's someone you haven't had a chance to perform with that you'd love to?
Dude, I feel like so many people like on Twitch. I'd imagine Twitch because that might be the most the easiest. I don't know if I could ever perform with any other like, artists, but
Mm.
dang, that's a good question. Oh my god, I just yanked this out of my ear. Dang. So many people. Frick, dude. Like actually doing a musical collab with? Hmm. Such a good question. Maybe like I think of like my friends that I've made through Twitch. Like I've never gotten to play directly with like Julie, for example. Well, I guess we did a jam, but I don't know if that counts. Or like Heavenly, like I don't know. I would love to do something with them, for example. I think those are the people I think of like. And then I have other pals as well too that like I don't know. I just think of off the dome. Like I've always wanted to do a collab with my friend Rob Does Music, who's also a streamer, or a string player gamer. His name is now Limelight. Who else? I don't know. There's so many that like, yeah. There's so many, so many.
I agree. Night doodle opening for Sabrina Carpenter when? Heck yeah.
I'm free.
Couple girly
I'm free whenever that
pops.
is.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
I've got nothing going on that day.
Yeah, exactly. I checked your schedule and you're completely free, so
Mm-hmm.
you're good to go. Also, thank you again, everyone, for just joining in. If you're just joining in, we have Mcd00dle on. She is an amazing, talented music streamer. You should go check her out. Also, go follow Mcd00dle too, which is her alt. We have a few more questions. I feel like I've kept you a little past, so I don't want to keep you too long.
Oh, that's
I know you're
okay.
doing
I
your
mean,
own
I don't.
stream.
Oh, I'm chilling. Chat, are we chilling? One if chilling.
A lot, as long as
One
you're
if
having
chill.
fun.
I am having fun, dude. Unfortunately for you, I can't shut up. So
Okay, no, that's good for me. You make that easy. Okay, hell yeah, I love all the ones. Let's freaking go. So going back to Twitch and you being on Twitch now, I feel like you have done a lot of collaborations. I feel like you've made like a pretty good name for yourself here on Twitch. What would you like to say? Do you see any plans for this in the future? Anywhere you would like to go? Like, where do you see this going if there is a place?
oh gosh, man. Um, that's a good question. Like in life or like through collaborations or like just like I don't know.
I guess
I don't know.
both overall, just in general on your journey on Twitch. Is there somewhere you like to be? Like maybe that's like Twitch ambassador. Maybe you're doing more on Twitch, or maybe it's just growing in
Yeah,
viewership.
yeah.
Also, Lime
Point. Okay.
Sundays. Hell yeah. Lime Sunday
Wait,
says
what?
Lime Sunday said I'm kind of agitated because I don't have enough Red 40, and I feel like that's both of us.
God, you're so real
That's
for
so
that.
real.
I need a daily dose of Red 40.
Okay, I'm so sorry. I interrupted my own question.
No, it's okay. I need like an IV of Red 40 directly in my veins. Anyway,
Real.
I digress, but that's a good point actually. I didn't even think of that. I was like, oh yeah, overall goals, period. All right, so I would say probably I would love to be Twitch ambassador one day. I think that's like my one for sure, like number one goal right now would be to do that. I did apply. Obviously didn't get it yet, but I'm saying yet because maybe one day I would love to. Honestly, part of why I would love to be Twitch ambassador too is because I feel like a lot of people are surprised. Like maybe Twitch music is like finally getting like traction. Like okay, Slay, this is there's a thing. But I feel like there's still not a lot of wind players. The representation. And like sometimes I'll just be like maybe on someone's front page or like
Yeah.
they just see me recommended to them and they're like, whoa, I didn't know there were sax players here or like wind players. I don't know. Or they'll be like, oh my gosh, like I used to play sax when I was like 1 foot tall, like in the womb. And I'm like, oh, that's crazy. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
a lot of people genuinely don't know that like this is a thing or maybe that they can be doing that thing. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's like, and like obviously that's no tea at all to like people who are doing other musical things. Like that's so awesome. But like I don't know, it's kind of exciting to feel like I'm kind of helping lead, like hey, this type of music is like a cool thing. It's very cool in fact. So yeah, I feel like that would be a cool thing to showcase kind of like science, like he's a cool ambassador doing science.
Yeah.
So, like pioneering that. And a lot of people are finding out about science and the science side of Twitch through him. And I would like to be that for like a little bit more niche music, you know?
Yeah. That's awesome.
So, yeah, exactly. So that would be cool. Anyways, that was a long explanation. So Twitch ambassador would be cool. I actually am one of the Creator Club for Music founders. So hey, if you guys are Twitch musicians and you stream, you should join the Twitch Creator Club for Music. Just so you know, you should. You should. Anyways, a little plug there. But yeah, that's one thing. I don't know. I just want to keep performing. Honestly, I've gotten a lot of really cool opportunities lately for performances. Um, for example, at Carmela, if you know her, she's an amazing musician. She has this show she puts on called Tune Time, which is featured on Twitch. So it's been always really cool that I get invited to be a part of that. And then more recently, I got to play at UMG at Universal in like Santa Monica, which is really cool and crazy. I never thought I would get there. So that was a really cool event. And I don't know, I would love to like go to like the Twitch Amazon studios. I know that sometimes like Dan Clancy will do stuff there and I'm like, yo, what's up? Hello, do you need a sax player? It's me. So I don't know, just like cool performances, or I would love to be performing back at TwitchCon, maybe European TwitchCon, just I don't know. Keep playing and stuff, keep performing.
Yeah, Doodle World Tour.
Me.
When? Exactly.
I know, right?
That's what we need. I'll buy tickets.
See the Grammys.
Yeah.
Gosh, I want to keep performing places. So, and Twitch Ambassador 1, what's up?
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I think Mythic is asking what instrument was the first that you started learning on music, but I think you were saying it was saxophone, right? Earlier?
Yeah, it was saxophone. Yes.
And you've traveled before too as well. Like you've been to Europe already? Where have you traveled
Yes.
to?
I've been to Canada and Mexico because my parents are from Canada and Mexico. My mom's from Mexico, my dad's from Canada. LMAO, and we're in the middle. And then I went to Europe like 2 years ago, and I went to the Netherlands to visit my little, because I was in a sorority. And then we went to France. And then in high school, for whatever reason, my high school went on a trip. Like my high school band went on a trip to Ireland, and we got to like perform there. So random, but it was pretty dope. So, and to those places.
Dude, that's so cool. International Doodle. Wait, that's really awesome.
International.
Jason.
Yeah, I would love to keep
performing.
Yeah, or keep traveling, honestly.
Yeah.
We've talked about that too. We talk about that.
I know. IRLs to different
We want to be IRL
guys?
travel streamers.
I know.
We really want to be IRL travel streamers.
Yeah, that would be my goal, like, as well. I would love to travel and just, like, we like to learn. So, like, just, like, learn about history, culture, and food. That'd be so awesome to be able to actually, like, travel and go to those places and experience it, as well as learning. That'd be awesome. While you play music.
I agree.
So we'll learn. And
we can busk. We'll busk to make sure we have a hotel room at night. It'll be dope. It'll be awesome.
Busk to have somewhere to stay each night. Pit stops.
Exactly. Yeah.
Exactly.
Literally.
Jason had a question. What was the wildest moment you've experienced because of music and Twitch?
Dang, that's a good question. Yo, someone answer this for me. Wildest? Dude, I feel like I never know what my wildest one. And I'll also, in what way?
Yeah.
In what way?
I guess that depends to you. Like, I would say for me, for like with like streaming overall, I think the wildest moment being in this world so far has been being able to host for The Walking Dead, like red carpet. For the season 10 premiere, like that was a dream come true, like for Skyvanos, because like, you know, of streaming and like my love for The Walking Dead. So I would say like that's the wildest moment so far for me. So I don't know if you have anything like that where you're like, oh my gosh, that's crazy, I've been able to do this, or maybe it's just something silly that's happened because of it. It could be anything.
Yeah, so I'll give you two. All right, so one is pretty obvious, I already said it, but the UMG event was pretty crazy. I wasn't expecting that, you know, that was kind of crazy. Just being in Universal Music and working with like a very big reputable music company and being able to stream for them, that was pretty crazy. So that was probably one of the most surreal things that made me feel like a very legitimate musician for a minute. Like, oh my goodness, what? Oh my God. And then one of the funnier things, one of the, like the, you know, like WTF moment, like what is actually going on right now moment, when it was like a Twitch office visit event. I think it was to celebrate the DJ category. They invited a bunch of us. Can I be saying this? Anyway, it's not bad, but they invited a bunch of us, you know, to the Twitch office in LA, which is cool. We've been there a couple times. And it was kind of funny because like at the end of the night, you know, like I'm always the type of person I never know when to go home. So like I stayed until the end of the event, and then at the end of the event, it was like, oh shoot, like it's just a couple of Twitch staff. Dan Clancy was still there, and a couple of like streamers. And then they were like, yo, so what do we like? I think Twitch staff were like, so what are we doing after? And I was like, I didn't know there's an afters. And then they're all were like, should we like? There's like a bar like a couple streets down. Let's go. So I was like, okay then. So then I was like, me, couple other Twitch partners, Dan Clancy, and some Twitch staff, and we just like went to a bar, and yeah, but it was like a bar that had like a live performing musician, I guess, or like musicians. It was like kind of like a rock concert situation, like in a bar. And we got there, and then like I was with Heavenly and Erica, who I talked about earlier. And yeah, we wanted to go see the musicians, so we kind of went deep into the crowd, and Dan Clancy was there with us. So it was like us four, like in this like giant like sea of people in this small bar. And it was just kind of like, this is kind of a crazy experience. Like I'm just like here. It's like the Twitch CEO. Like we're like, what is happening right now?
Yeah.
Well, genuinely, what is happening? And then yeah, I don't know. We just like kind of hung out with like a bunch of people, and it was super chill. Like everyone was really really nice. It was just like one of those like. It was also like a Thursday night. It was like really random. It was like, girl, it's like a school night.
Yeah.
I think it literally like I think I had work the next day. Like I was still teaching at the time. And I was like, girl, it's like 1 a.m. or something. And I'm like an and like I have to go teach tomorrow. And I'm out here like, I don't know. This is just kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So
No,
that's probably one of the more
that's awesome,
wild.
though. It's so cool. Yeah, it's like one of those moments where you're like, okay, am I here? What is happening? Like this feels so surreal.
Dude, that's like the party that well, not party, but like it was kind of like a party. The one that you and I went to.
Oh yeah, yeah, that was fun.
Tubbo spilled his drink on me. Like what a random thing
Like, what is
to happen.
happening? Yeah, I know. That was such a random night, and then I think we ended up getting like milkshakes after. We got like
Yeah, we got milkshakes with Kraken.
yeah, we got milkshakes with Kraken. We're like everyone was going home, and we're like. So we keeping the party going, or what's going on?
And then Kraken was there, like, "Yo, hey, do you want to come to downtown Disney with us?"
Yeah, and I think like I was like driving,
so
and
funny.
so I didn't know. I was like, just get in my car, y'all. We're going, and then we got free parking at downtown Disney, and then we got milkshakes. That was a crazy night.
That was such a funny night too, because like it was like. You, me, like some other LA streamers, and like all the Minecraft YouTubers.
Yeah.
At like a rooftop bar party that Twitch invited us all to. It was just like the most random mix of people. And that was, I remember like I didn't know any, like I had heard the names of the Minecraft streamers. Like I only knew them by name, but I didn't know what they even looked like. And I remember, I think I was talking to like, maybe it was Tubbo. I think we were talking. And I didn't know who he was, low-key. And then he was like, oh, yeah, I play Minecraft on Twitch. And I was like, oh, that's cool, man. And then I was like, yeah, I play the sax. And he was like, oh, cool, I play sax too. And I was like, whoa, no way, that's really cool, man. Like, that's so sick that you play sax. And do you ever play it on stream? And he was like, oh, no, not really. And I was like, oh, you should. And then I was like, oh, yeah, what's your name by the way? And I was like, oh, I'm Tubbo. And I was like, wait.
Yeah.
Oh. Girl, that's crazy. I didn't know who I was talking to this entire time.
I know.
Oh, okay, word. That's kind of crazy. Oh, you're like you're like oh, okay.
I know.
So that was kind of funny. And I remember seeing like Dream in like the corner.
Yeah. Dream was there, like so Neko was there, and I'm sitting there like, why am I here? Like
I literally the biggest imposter. I'm like
random person to be there.
Genuinely, why am I at this party right now? Like it was cool, but it was also like, why am I here?
Yeah.
I think I asked the Twitch, because like I was like, they bussed us over. They told us to meet at one place, and they bussed us over to this event. And I was literally talking with like the Twitch staff that was like on the bus, like monitoring. And I was like, oh, I thought I was like accidentally invited straight up. And she was like, oh no, you were very intentionally invited. And I was like, oh, okay. I'm gonna be honest, I thought this was a mistake, like straight up. Why am I here? And anyways, so apparently we were very intentionally invited. Dude, I found out.
Yeah, that night was crazy because I think it was like first time like Dan came up to me and he asked me a question, and it was specifically about being like a family friendly streamer. And I was like, hold
Oh
up,
my God, I
hold
remember
up.
that.
You know what I do? You know, first of all, you know who I am and what I do? That like that's insane to me. I was like, wait, how'd you know? How'd you know? This is
That was such a
crazy.
funny thing.
I
That was
know.
funny too. That conversation was so funny because
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
that, and then it was also like the hot tub streamer, like, do you remember that? And
Yeah.
yeah, that was an interesting, it was a funny conversation.
Bye night.
Anyways,
Please take care. Um
we've had funny
um
things.
Nick wanted to know, did you have any like streamers who are like inspirations to you, or who you like looked up to getting started?
Dude, oh my gosh, there's so many. Holy cow. So many because like I don't know, the thing, see, again, I went to music school and like, I thought I had an idea of like what the ideal musician looked like from like an educational standpoint, from this is a person who went to music school and practiced a bunch and whatever, like that was like the ideal that I looked up to for a long time. And then I came onto Twitch and I was like, "Oh, what the heck? Oh my God, how are these musicians real?" Oh my God, like some people are just so like insanely talented. They can just play 50,000 instruments and you're like, and they're all good. Or like they do live looping and I'm like, I don't even my brain can't process. Like that's not something that I ever even knew existed. And I was just like shocked and like bald-headed. Like so some of them have been like I think in the very beginning, some of those musicians were Jonathan Ong. If you guys know him, I can't explain what he does. He's ridiculous. I don't even know. Lara6683, she's crazy talented and like really cool. I know there's so many musicians and like, it's like inspired by not only how they play, but also like inspired by like how they interact, like how they stream, like there's a lot to be inspired by. So like I'm inspired here, one of my people I look up to too, high key.
Oh wait.
So I don't know. Hold on, what? No, like genuinely though, like
Oh my
so
god.
much.
I'm gonna cry.
So yeah, I don't know. And then like, like maybe some not specifically music streamers, people like A-Tray, like I definitely look up to her as just like really cool, funny person that I'd like to aspire to be like. I don't know. There's like a lot. And all of a sudden I'm forgetting all of them. But yeah, there's our Nurse Huckleberry,
Yeah.
like she's cool and like so creative. So yeah, there's a lot of cool people that I really look up to.
Yeah. There's so many amazing people I've like met on Twitch, and it's like incredible just how much talent there is on this platform, uh, which is super awesome. Also, Chemistry gifting those subs on Mcd00dle's channel.
Oh
Let's
my
go.
gosh,
Crazy prank,
thank
guys.
you.
Go give all your love and support to
Thank
Mcd00dle.
you.
Crazy
Would be
prank.
crazy.
Crazy prank for
Yo,
real.
use Max Aura if you donate to Chelsea right now.
Okay, this is streamers. No, it is. Eddie had a question too. Do you have a favorite IRL stream that you've done?
Honestly, maybe that's a good question, actually. Maybe the first one we ever did.
The OC Fair?
Maybe the first one. Yeah, the OC Fair was really fun. That was a great stream. That was like, I don't know. It was just so like, it was a good time. We just like walked around and it was just so full of whimsy and I thought that was really fun. But
Yeah.
like, I don't know, everything we do is really fun. So it's kind of hard to say a favorite, but that one definitely stands out to me because maybe because it was our first one. What about you? Reverse question.
Ooh. Yeah, I feel like there's been a lot now. The Disney one was definitely a lot of fun. The fair was really cool. Man, that's so hard. I don't know. I really also like the night market. I just like going walking
Ah, that
around
one's
and like
fun.
getting food. There wasn't many like troubleshooting issues as well. Um, it was just
Oh,
overall
that's
like
true.
pretty chill. But yeah, that one was a lot of fun. Also,
That one was really
Little
fun.
Tokyo, this recent one, was super cool.
That was really fun. I wish we spent more time there, but it's okay because part two when chat.
Yeah, part two as well. We have
Part
to.
two when?
Oh yeah. Oh
When we
yeah.
actually go into stores.
Yeah. Where we actually go
I like
around.
how our little Tokyo stream was literally just us trying to troubleshoot for the first like part of it, and then after that, it was we need to find a bathroom, and then we just like hung out in like a restaurant the whole time, and then after that, we walked and got matcha, and we sat outside of a building for the like it was more than that, but we didn't get to go inside too many stores.
Yeah.
Which would have been cool.
It was Little Tokyo exterior. So next time we do Little
Yeah.
Tokyo interior.
Yeah, like more stores, more food, more like
Yeah.
maybe get some ramen or something.
Yeah.
There's the singing too.
Exactly.
Don't
Not
talk
some
about
like
that.
fries from a Mediterranean restaurant.
Was it Mediterranean? I don't even know what it was.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ben.
It was also fun though. Any chance we get some little hints at some of the things you got planned for future collabs?
Well,
I don't know if you want to go. Hints.
okay, yeah.
Driving. Mickey. And Lil. Ollie.com, thank you. I appreciate it.
Lil is crazy.
Lil. I don't know. I don't know how else to
Those are
describe
some
it.
hints.
Yeah, those are some hints.
Those are some hints. Yeah. I mean, I think one thing that Chelsea and I have talked about a lot. I mean, there's nothing. It's not happening, but we have talked about wanting to do some travel streams. We've had ideas. You have Mothman. So nothing solid, not like plans like, oh, we're gonna do this, but a lot of like, oh, I'd love to do this. I'd love to go X here or there or here or there. So we just need to do it one day. Thanks, damn it.
Yeah, exactly. We just need to execute it. But yeah, traveling would definitely be the next like bigger thing or bigger scope that we've always wanted to do. Whether that's like staying in the States and then maybe one day international.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, something like we talked about like what if we just went to Colorado like for like one day, or like what if we just went to Arizona for like 2 days and then came back, like not even, just to go do like an IRL and just like go travel and go see something. So,
exactly. Oh yeah, Epic Universe, the Iceland story. Wait, the Iceland story. I don't know what the Iceland story is. I love Arizona. I do love Arizona. Guys, Arizona is awesome. Do you have like a dream place for like an international IRL? Like where would you want to go?
Oh yeah, first? Japan brother.
Hell yeah.
Number one, we could go. Phoebe, you know what that means?
Yes, you sent that to me, but now I forget.
Chat, if you guys don't know, YOLO is out, Phoebe is in. All right, that's FIBI. That's frick it, book it.
That's right. Forget book it.
You guys, you'll wanna go to a restaurant that needs a reservation. Okay, frick it, book it. You want to go somewhere. Okay, get the tickets. Frick it, book it. Just send it. Money, you might need it. Frick it, book it. Think about it later. Put it on a credit card, paid off later. This is not financial advice, by the way.
Don't start a financial YouTube.
Yo, if you need financial advice, hit my line. But my financial advice mostly is, do you want it? Then you should buy it. Why not? I will be taking no more questions.
And honestly, sound advice, honestly. Money, don't know her. Honestly, I feel like that's better advice than like the people that are like invest in meme coin.
Exactly.
Like at least you're getting something out of it.
Debt is temporary, drip is forever, I say.
Real. Can never be too swaggy.
And by temporary, I mean maybe it'll fall off when you are dead. Anyways, it's fine. It's fine.
For legal reasons, Doodle is not a financial advisor. Please consult a professional. Opinions offered are not those of Twitch Inc. Exactly.
Oh my God.
Prank Doodle by gifting some subs. Real. You guys should do that.
Yearbook quote. Wait. I have a reverse question. Can I reverse question you?
Yeah.
If you had to have a yearbook quote, because I don't know if you had a yearbook, what would your yearbook quote be?
I don't. Damn.
You have like a quote?
I don't feel like
Yeah.
I feel like I'd want like a funny one, but I don't really have a funny one. It would probably just be like something stupid like wing it. or fake it till you make it, which is not very good. Yap, yap, yap. Eat more soup.
My yearbook quote was actually from Nacho Libre. Mine was I'm the gatekeeper of my destiny and I will have my glory day in the hot sun.
Okay. That's cute.
I,
And it says Nacho
at
Libre.
first, that was my second choice. My first choice was I'm laughing. My first choice initially was you can catch flies with honey, but you catch more honeys being fly.
Hey.
The problem is I told that quote to Dylan in science class. I told him this is gonna be my yearbook quote, and then that man immediately after I said it was like, "Yo, I'm gonna make that my yearbook quote," and I was like, "Excuse me?"
Dude.
And he was like, "Yeah, that's gonna be my yearbook quote," and I was like. And the worst part is, so I was like, oh my God, I cannot trust this man. He might make it his yearbook quote. I'm mad as hell. And then I was like, oh my God, yeah, L. Dylan in chat.
All the homies
so
hate
mad
Dylan.
about it. I was so mad about it. And I was like, ugh, fine. I'll just like find another quote. So then I did the Nacho Libre thing. And then that man didn't even use that quote. He didn't even use it.
What the heck?
Once I catch you, Dylan.
Honestly,
Once
yeah.
I catch you, Dylan, from science class. Anyway.
What's he up to now? Probably nothing. Nothing good. Honestly.
Mad at Dylan. Anyway.
Getting nowhere in
yeah.
life.
At L. Biggest L ever. Why am I so based? Dude, I don't know. I don't know. Born this way, I fear.
Real.
But yeah. They give me no eagle powers. Have you seen Nacho Libre?
I haven't seen Nacho Libre in so
5.
long. I need to.
Love Nacho Libre.
Dude, Nacho Libre's up there with Napoleon Dynamite.
Wait. Reverse question once again. Top 3 to 5 movies.
From Dusk Till Dawn. Jaws. La La Land.
Period.
Super 8. And Clueless.
I've seen 1.5 out of 5 of those. I think I've seen Super 8. I don't remember
you've seen La La Land. I'm gonna guess that's the one. And then Super 8's the half. You've never seen Jaws?
I've seen it in the back lot of Universal Studios.
I'm shook, honestly. That's crazy.
Anyway. You will be shook by that like top 100 best movies of all time list.
Yeah.
I think I've seen like 13 of them or something.
Okay, well, to be fair, I don't know a lot of music stuff, and I feel like you can name so many like musicians and artists, and I would just be like, who?
That's so debatable, I fear. What? I fear that is very debatable. I don't know things.
You guys haven't seen Jaws? Okay, we're doing Jaws for a movie night, because what is this? Y'all have not seen Jaws? Okay.
Yo, combined community night, we watch Jaws.
Hell yeah. Wait. Chat? Sharks?
Sharks? Sharks, I give you 1 movie night, and you give me 10%. Anyway, so yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. Sharks is the perfect thing to say, too, when you're saying Jaws to watch for movie night.
I know that. How we cook. Wait, what was I gonna say? Oh, I'll tell you my top 5 movies. Okay. I actually don't know if this is a top 5. Okay, La La Land, number 1, period.
Okay, real.
Number 1, La La Land. And then it's gotta go Prince of Egypt.
Okay.
Prince of Egypt. And then it's gotta go all of the How to Train Your Dragons.
Ooh. Okay.
Love How to Train Your Dragon. Yeah, down bad for that. And then I feel like I'm missing one, but I do gotta say Nacho Libre.
So are you gonna go see the live action? How to Train Your Dragon?
I think so. I don't know. Like the first 3 were just so perfect that it's like it's kind of like Avatar. Like Avatar is my favorite show of all time. And I wasn't thrilled to see that they were making a live action. To be fair, that's because the first live action was just so bad. But now I'm jaded and I'm traumatized. So it was kind of mid, like, and we knew that. So But anyway, that's why I'm kind of like, okay, like what's the point? Like who is this for?
Yeah.
Is my thought. Who is this for?
For
I don't
the
know.
shareholders.
For the money, I fear.
Yeah.
God, I do everything for the shareholders. Just so
Yeah.
you guys know, nothing I do is ever for myself or for others, unless
the
those others
shareholders.
are the shareholders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why
Like
would
my
you?
entire life is dedicated. Please, shareholders, please. Oh my God, I hope they make more money.
For the
Um,
stonks.
dude, I just want them to have so much money.
Also, I don't know if you know this, but one of my favorite Prince of Egypt facts, if I'm thinking of the right movie, because Prince of Egypt says DreamWorks, I'm pretty sure, right? So
Yes,
the animators,
it
when
is.
they were working on Prince of Egypt, if they weren't working, I think it was like fast enough or they weren't doing good work, they were actually sent to like go work on like, you know, their worst movie at the time, which I believe was Shrek. Like Shrek was their like I think it was Shrek was like their silly movie at the time. And so if like they weren't doing well on that movie, they were sent to go work on Shrek, and that was seen as like, oh, you're not doing as well. But Meister, because this is my stream, it's kind of crazy how that works. Like you can't come on my stream and I talk. It's kind of crazy how that works. Kind of silly, if you ask me.
That I'm back.
Yeah, it was Shrek. Sorry, it was Shrek as a punishment. Bro was like, "Why don't you shut up?" Like because it's my stream.
Like, dare she talk in her own stream? How dare she? Bro acts like, oh my goodness. Anyway, that's crazy.
They totally got Shrek. Anyways, yeah, it was Shrek 2. That was right. It was Shrek 2. Anyways, that's just one of my favorite facts. Is that like their punishment was to go work on Shrek.
That's a crazy. That's like a reward. It's like a reward.
That's a good movie. Have you seen Django? Where that came from?
What is the full name? What's the government name of that movie?
Django Unchained. It's a Quentin Tarantino.
Yes, I have. Okay. Yes, I have actually. I have.
It's like a reward. Yeah, that one.
I didn't realize I was from that film. I didn't know that. Movie knowledge is bad.
To get back to the topic of streaming and stuff.
Sorry.
No, you're good. I just again don't want to take up too much of your time. But I want to know if you had like any advice for people who are either just streamers or like music streamers, like that you wish you knew like in the beginning that like you would tell yourself now. I guess the question is like,
dude,
what is something you know now that you wish like you knew when you were starting to stream?
Guys, I have the tea for you. Okay, I'm by no means am I professional or do I know what I'm talking about. However, I will say that off the dome, the very first things I would say are just do it. And that feels like very boring advice, okay? Everyone's gonna be like, okay, but no, I'm so serious. Like, because people will be like, well, I need to make sure that the conditions are right. I need to make sure that the sun rises in the east, and I need to make sure that the wind is 30 miles per hour, and I need to make sure that my PC is in perfect. I need a camera. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, for sure. But like, have you considered that? Like, when I started streaming, my stream setup was crazy, low-key. I wish I had a picture of it, but I literally I took my cellular device and I got a history book and 2 shoe boxes, and I stacked those bad boys on top of each other. I grabbed an Adidas shoe on top, and then I leaned my phone against it, and that was the stream, baby. Really? That was the stream. So, yeah, it was god awful. Imagine hearing a saxophone through a cell phone. Oh my lord. Oh my god, it was bad. And I did that for a couple months. To be fair, that's because I didn't know how much better it could get. You know, and you know, if you have the knowledge, you might be like, well, I know that you need a streaming PC and this and that. But like, dude, I don't know, just do it. You know what I mean? Because like, you know, like I started on the phone and it was a terrible thing, but whatever. And then from there, then I got a PC with 1 monitor and a snowball microphone, which probably was even worse for the sound. And then a couple months later, then I got this really awesome setup. And then years later, I got the Nikon. And so it was pieced together, you know what I mean? And like day by day, it was like, oh, today my audio sucks, but maybe like, I'll fix it for the next stream. Or today I don't have alerts, and that's okay. Maybe next stream I'll add some. So like, you don't need to wait until every single thing is perfect. You have your panel set up, you have your alerts, you have your camera, you have your mic. Like, I mean, I would say yes, try to have a mic and a camera, like try to. But at the same time, just like do it. Because realistically, in the first couple days, weeks, months even of you streaming, like, I don't know, it's just good to practice. You know what I mean? Like, it's, I don't know, it'll never be the same way as when you're live. You know what I mean? Like, you can have all the perfect, like, gear, and then all of a sudden you go live, and it's a completely different thing. Like, you need to practice talking to people. You need to practice talking to nobody, low-key. Like, a lot of streaming is talking to nobody for a long time. And so yeah, you just need to do it. You just need to full send it. You got to turn your viewer count off, high key, and you just need to you need to talk. Because unfortunately, if you don't talk, then a lot of times you'll miss people coming into your chat, and they'll be like, this person is just sitting here playing Call of Duty low-key and not talking about anything. So yeah, I see. And the thing is that like low-key, a lot of time, like, I don't know, I just notice these things like when people, I browse the Twitch subreddit a lot. And like, for example, somebody posted on there the other day, like, hey, I've been streaming for X amount of years. It's always kind of the same format. I've been streaming for this many years or months, and I feel like I have a good setup. And for some reason, I still only have one viewer. And what the heck happened? Why is that? And then you go and watch their stream, and low key, they're just sitting there playing the game. And that's it. And you're like, well, would you watch your own stream? You know what I mean? Like, no tea. And like, the other thing is you kind of have to figure out, why are you doing it? Are you doing it for fun, or are you doing it to grow? And so your strategy will be different. If you don't care about growth, then that's so cool. Then, do whatever you want, basically. But if you're questioning why you're not growing, see, this is a whole different conversation. This is now like went into like like how to grow, I guess.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I don't know. You have to like kind of figure out, what are you doing it for? And would you watch back your own stream? And you need to watch back your own streams. Are you entertained by your own streams? Dude, honestly, sometimes when I'm watching my stream back and it's like a IRL stream, I'm like, I am entertained, low-key. I'm like, damn, we're entertaining. Like, I'm having a good time, low-key. So like, you know what I mean? And I'm like, that's a good feeling. And I know that it's cringe, like, to rewatch yourself, but you have to. I don't know. Or I don't know. So that's what I would say off the dome. I don't know. Do you feel that? Do you agree, or do you have different thoughts?
No, I 100% agree. That's why I always tell everyone, like, perfection is gonna be your worst enemy. Always. Like, you always just need to start. Because you starting, even if it's not the best, you're already ahead of yourself if you have never started. Or if you're waiting, I hear this a lot. People are like, oh, I'm just waiting to get the setup and stuff. It's like, no, just do it. Just go live. Don't worry about it. And same thing, if you're not having fun, if you're not having a good time, then I feel like the audience most likely is not going to have a good time. Which is why sometimes, like, I know if I'm feeling really sick or just not having a good day, I probably won't stream. Because I'm like, if I'm not going to have fun, it's probably not going to be fun for other people to watch. But yeah, I think you're completely right. You just gotta go for it and then make it right. The moment's never going to be right. You just have to make it right.
Yeah. Exactly. And then I would say the other thing is finding a balance between being like, what is the word I was trying to look for? Because you brought up a point of like when you're not feeling it, that you take a night off, right? I think also finding a balance of like being disciplined enough to go live even when you kind of don't feel like it, but then also understanding like when you shouldn't go live because you're not feeling it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because low key, sometimes if it were up to me and like, I don't feel like doing it, I would like, I would be going live a lot less low key.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like sometimes I'm never feeling it. Like, I don't know, there'll be like a week or two in a row where before I go live, I'm not feeling it. It's like going to the gym, but then you kind of like, okay, girl, it's the on the way there. It's the getting ready for the gym and driving there. When you're there, you're having a great time, brother. It's not that I don't have a good time when I'm streaming. It's the, "Oh, I don't feel like doing it though." Like that means I
Yeah.
have to get up, I have to get ready, I have to like, you know what I mean? But then recognizing that's different than like, no, 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 I'm not in the right headspace. Like I shouldn't be going live, for my mental health and for me, like, but at the same time, you do have to kind of stay disciplined to the craft, because I remember in the beginning of streaming, oh my gosh, like developing a schedule was so hard to stick to, you know what I mean? Because it's like, I don't feel like doing it today. That's fine. I'll just do it tomorrow. And then tomorrow would kind of like, well, I guess I'll just do it the next day. Like it was so hard to stick to it. Or I'd be like, oh, I'll start, it's like, I'll start it at 10 p.m. And then I would go live by 1 a.m. Like, ah.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know. You really need to stay disciplined to it. Even when you don't have a good stream, you know what I mean? Like you think about your last stream, like, oh, that stream sucked though. Like, what's the point? Like, you just have to push past that and keep it going. And the unfortunate thing is that even if you get over that hurdle, that could still mean that you don't really, again, this is only if you care about growth, by the way. If you don't care about growth, disregard this completely, who cares? But yeah, this trouble is that it could lead to nothing. You might never grow. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, and that's just unfortunately the truth. And once you kind of understand that, I don't know, then I don't know, it'll be easier in a way. I don't know, it just kind of sucks that like no matter how much you could put so much time into the thing and it doesn't mean but then again, the more time and the more effort, you increase your chances. So it's not to say that your effort is wasted, it's just you just kind of have to like understand that. But every effort, it'll increase your chances, and at least there's that.
Yeah. At least you're
Don't
like,
guarantee anything.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. It's
It'll
it's
increase.
really hard. Growth can be hard because a lot of it is like little bit of luck,
Luck.
a little bit of like pushing it, being at the right place at the right time. But inevitably, if you're like putting a lot of time and effort into something, it's gonna lead somewhere, even if it's not exactly where your first idea is. I agree, J Puma. I definitely
Mm-hmm.
had times where I come on stream where I'm like, guys, I'm so sorry from low energy, just not having a great
Real.
day. But then like we get into it, and then I'm like, I needed this actually. Like I feel so much better. I think it's just like also just admitting to yourself, like, hey, just trying to do my best today, like, and that's all we could do. Sometimes like that's how it is
Mm-hmm.
at like a normal job. You don't feel like you want to go in, but you show up and you do the work
Yeah.
anyways.
Exactly. So it's hard, but yeah, it's hard. I don't know. I mean, like, yeah, you kind of end up treating it like a job because, I mean, at this point for us, it very much is, but
Yeah.
yeah,
I feel like
it's
the
kind of crazy.
perspective changes a lot too. Once you start treating it as a job compared to maybe as a hobby, it definitely, you have to look at it a different way
Yeah.
and treat it a different way for sure, which is just a whole different like mindset.
Yeah, and I mean, admittedly, like I would say like 2 to 3 months into it, I did start to like, because once I finally locked into my streaming schedule, like a month or two in, like I did start treating it like, oh, I have to show up. Which I guess has served me at the end of the day. Like, I kept showing up and I kept putting in the time and energy, and here we are. So like, that's cool. So I don't know. I don't want to discourage anyone, by the way. I just, you know what I mean? Like sometimes I feel like at this, like as much as I want to be like, just do it, it's gonna work out. I feel like sometimes toxic positivity is actually, it's not helpful
Yeah.
all the time because then you're like, oh my gosh, like, but why isn't it working? And it's like, well, you have to face the facts a little bit, but at the same time, there's always something you can do. There's always
Yeah.
something that, take it as like, it's like playing an instrument or dancing, you know what I mean? Like you can always get better. There's always something you can do to improve it, to make your chances better. But then again, a lot of the time it is luck. So like when I tell my chat that like low key, dude, when I first started streaming, I got a rate of like 200 people. Like when
Oh
in
yeah.
the first couple weeks. That's not even fair. Like low key, that's not fair because that kind of like kicked off a lot of my regulars at the time.
Hmm.
That's not fair. You know what I mean? Like that's just straight up luck.
Yeah.
And that I would say that definitely propelled me forward like way faster than, if it didn't happen. So, I don't know. It's just sometimes it's just luck. But
Yeah.
yeah.
What is the most important business related thing you've learned?
Oh my gosh. Oh frick. Oh frick. Girl, that's a good question. I feel like there's a lot of things. I feel like the business. That's such a good question. I don't know. It's not really something I've maybe learned. I mean, I feel like it's kind of obvious though, but like I don't know, one thing that sticks out is like I don't know, don't be like flaky. Don't be
Yeah.
flaky, show up on time. I don't know. I feel like that's something I need to get better at low key, unfortunately. But responding back to people like this and that, like I feel like I have missed out on opportunities for not necessarily flaking. It's just like I thought I had more time to answer like a DM, for example, and then you go to answer it and then like, oh no, the opportunity's gone because they found somebody else or like the sponsorship is like not taking, yeah, dang it. You know what I mean? And like I suck at answering my emails and my DMs. So that sucks for me. That I have high key missed out on some opportunities just because I was silly and didn't respond back fast enough. I thought I had more time or I was nervous so that yeah.
Yeah.
So
No, that makes sense. It's always hard. It's always a hard lesson to learn. It's also just say like it is sometimes overwhelming, like the amount of like stuff you have to keep up when like it is like a business because you're one little guy, and you're trying to do
Mhm.
it and your personal life or whatever's going on. Plus, you're trying to, make sure different videos are being uploaded different places and then have the energy to stream like, the sometimes 8 hours a day and then like also edit your stuff down and then post and then it could just all be a lot of like very overwhelming. And then you're like, oh yeah, I have to answer messages as well if I want to have things. So it'd just
Yeah,
be a lot
exactly.
at
Especially
once.
exactly. And especially when, like, if you really think about it, everything we do as a content creator, until you sign a contract anyway, or an NDA, everything is optional. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like, you don't
Yeah.
have to post those videos. You don't have to edit these things. You don't have to take the sponsorships. You don't have to do anything. You know what I mean? It's not like a job where it's like, here's the agenda, and if you don't do all these things, like you'll get fired, right? Like, you don't have to do anything if you don't want to. So
Yeah.
like sometimes for me, I really need deadlines. I need like you need to do this or you're not gonna get an A plus, like for school or for a job, right? Like you have to do it. But like with streaming, or content creation, everything's just so optional that sometimes that it's harder for me to do things then. You know what I mean? Or like
Yeah.
respond to things, edit things. It's all technically in a way like I want to do it, but like it's technically optional, essentially. Yeah. Does that make sense? Frick.
Yeah, no, it
I know.
does. It's hard because like I miss, my supervisor telling me like, here's what we're gonna do today. You go into meetings and you're like, here's what's for the week, here's what needs to be done for the week. But you also have other moving parts of like a company doing different parts, and you're only one like part in the company, right? So you know
Yeah.
your things. But when you're doing content creation and you want to grow, it's just hard because you're in charge of all of it. You have to
Yeah,
manage all of it,
exactly.
and if you're not good at managing all of it, me Loki, then it's gonna start to like maybe fall or crumble, or you're gonna just gonna like it's gonna feel super overwhelming because you're actually like, just in charge of every step of that process for yourself. So it could definitely just
Yeah.
become a lot, and then you're like, oh no, I don't know what to work on today because there's so many things I could do. um it is just a lot.
Yeah. And I don't know about you, but like I'm a chronic people pleaser, except when it comes to myself. So if I'm like, oh no, I have to practice my saxophone because my professor's gonna be mad. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, cool. Well, not exactly that situation. That was a
Yeah.
bad situation. But like, you know, like, oh my God, I have a group project. I don't want to disappoint my group mates, so I have to do it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, that's a lot of times my motivation to do things is because I don't want to make somebody mad. I don't want to make, but like, girl, if it's for me,
Real.
LMAO, girl, like, I want to go to the gym. Okay, but like, the only one who benefits is you, and you're not disappointing anybody else. But like,
Real.
okay, fine, keep disappointing yourself. Like, that's fine.
No, exactly. Like chat's like, do
So
what makes you
it's like,
happy, and I'm like, no, I want to do what makes you happy. I don't want to do what makes me happy. That gives me anxiety. Can I please do what makes you happy?
yeah. So it just sucks because it's like with content creation, it's like, no, you need to be a self starter. You need to do things. You need to go out of your way. And a lot of them are to low key benefit you and your channel and your brand. And if you don't do them, then what? I don't know. Like, there's not exactly. I mean, there's not really a consequence, I guess. So, like, the only consequence is letting yourself down, which I am happy doing, apparently.
Yeah. I'm always down.
So
I'm
it's
really
so
good.
frustrating.
Yeah, that is a struggle for sure. Nick wanted to know, is there a difference between growing like during the pandemic? How would you say growing your channel during the pandemic compares to navigating the Twitch landscape now?
Dude, it's pretty different. It's pretty different. I mean, not so much. A lot of it's the same. Um, like, I don't know. There's certain, we were talking about this the other day that like a lot of what they offer, like they've changed so many things, like, like, okay, on the bright side, we got 70/30 now,
Yeah.
and I'm very lucky to have, achieved that. Hey, we're almost there for this month. What's up? If you wanna, anyway, but like, we're, things like 70/30 are a thing now, or like, shoot, they just integrated sponsorships today into the platform. So stuff like that, it's like, okay, it feels like Twitch is trying. They're trying, and that feels really nice. But there are certain things that like they were also doing back then that they don't do anymore, which is like, dang, I really like that they do that. Like they would put us speaking of front page, like there's a time where I had you know, front page for like 3 months in a row because they were doing a huge music activation at the time. And so they were more down to, now you kind of apply for front page, but like, there were so many times where I'd get somebody reaching out to me being like, hey, we have front page slot if you want it, and that was really cool. So it felt like there's a lot more, well, and to be fair, I feel like a lot of it is because there's less humans at Twitch now, which is
Yeah.
really sad. But there are people reaching out to do these things with us. Or they had for partners, they actually had these workshops. Do you remember those?
Yeah, I do remember the workshops.
They
Those are
had
really
partner
nice.
workshops.
Yeah.
Those are so cool where we would get into Zoom calls with other like Twitch staff and other partners. It was like sort of, and that might have been because it was a COVID thing, but like yeah, like they would just have us in Zoom calls kind of like learning and workshopping and talking about like how to grow. And they would send these out every couple months like, hey, who's interested? And then we'll give you a link for this thing to show up to. And it was so cool. But then again, like I said, now we have things like the Women's Guild, which is cool. We have the creator clubs now. So maybe that's replaced that idea a little bit. But it still was really nice. I don't know. I kind of do miss that, the way they did that. I thought that was really cool. But I don't know. That was like a Twitch's literal offerings. I don't know if the viewership has changed, like the actual viewership, that type of thing, like the community. The community is pretty similar, aside from the literal regulars who are able to come by here and there. Your kind of changes over time who's able to make, your streams.
Yeah.
So I do miss the people from back then too. Or the people from, I'm almost 5 years in here now, so, my community has changed a lot. And there's some, obviously people I'm sure that like have stuck around all 5 of those years and are still coming to your streams all the time. But then there's, people who don't, and that's okay, totally. But you do miss them.
Yeah.
I get parasocial for a second. I miss them.
I know.
I think about them.
It's weird how you do also get that parasocial like thing because there'll be viewers that come in and like maybe I knew them, they're like my first viewers and like but now they've gotten married, they have new jobs, they have kids now, and it's just like so exciting to have them like come in and like see how their life is also transformed. It's like we have all grown together because I don't know about you, but I feel like I'm in a very different place than what I was when I first started streaming. And
Oh my God,
yeah. And I feel like for you too, we both started streaming at a very transformative time in our lives, our early 20s, and that's the time, developmentally when you are going through kind of the most changes in your life in terms of like your social life changes, you're transitioning out of that like teenager life to the adult role. And it's been so interesting to kind of live that entire life online but also live it with other people as well. And it's been super, super awesome just to see that. Like, I hope I've also evolved to be, like, a better person or, like, than what I was when I started when I was 21 years old. But it's crazy to think, like, I'm 27 and I started streaming when I was 20,
Dude, same.
That's crazy.
Same. Like, I started streaming when I was 21, and now I'm pushing 30.
I know, dude. I'm gonna be like 30 soon. Like, dried up, washed up streamer over here.
Wait, chat. This reminds me of a tweet really quickly. Okay, before everyone's like, you guys aren't old, but hear me out. I saw this tweet earlier that matches my vibe. It says, you're 25. You're not running out of time. It has only just begun. Except for me. I am 25 in a far more it's all over way.
Exactly. It's all over for
When
me.
people are like,
not for you guys.
yeah,
But for me, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. For me, it's over. Like, for you guys, yeah, people be like, oh, wait, but I'm 35. And I'm like, no. For you, you're good. It's just me.
Exactly.
No. You're not old. Like, like my life is over. Like, it's different for you.
Exactly.
Like, I'm not talking about you. Anyway.
Katya, we
So,
are old.
yeah,
we are
anyway.
old. I know. Like, what are we doing? For you're good. You're young. See, for me.
Yeah, you guys are young. It's just me.
Yeah, me. I should like. What am I doing? This kind of crazy.
Yeah.
This is silly. Like Twitch is giving me this as a pity. Essentially, they saw me apply and they were like, "Oh, she 27. We gotta get her on here. Her time ticking."
Wicked. I think you need another website, bro. Like
wrong site.
Like, brother, I need you to be so FR right now. Anyway, sorry. Like, what the heck? Anyway, but yeah, dude.
Yeah, in streamer years. Yeah, I guess like in streamer years, yeah, we're technically washed up, but I'm 27 playing Roblox on stream.
That's crazy, Hawk. That's crazy, Hawk.
Do you have anything, not like just for Twitch, but something that you've learned now as you're like 26, right? That you would tell yourself, you know, maybe like your early 20 self that you wish you knew when you were 20. Like, what would you tell yourself now?
Oh my god. Early 20s? Oh my god. I would tell myself two things. Man, I live my life with a lot of regrets. Quite frankly.
Perfect.
I have a lot of regrets. But anyway, hey, I know myself. Anyway, so I know I do, and so I think two things maybe. One, like, girl, why did you work so much? I don't understand. I genuinely don't understand. It makes me upset a little bit because I'm like, I think I was always like when I was in college, you know, when I was in the thick of it right before COVID, like, girl, I worked like a part-time job that was essentially working me like a full-time job. And I was in a sorority and I was a music major taking like 11, 12 classes a semester. And I was just doing, and then I was in like, you know, clubs, and I was just like doing everything ever. And like, which was fine. That's just like how I live my life, honestly. That's how I like to do things. I don't know. I've just always been like that in college, in high school. Like, I just like doing a lot of things. I find a lot of satisfaction. A lot of my self-worth, unfortunately, is through like doing things and being productive, unfortunately. Not a great way to live, I fear.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like, in my brain, I swear to God, the way that my brain works is that, you know, like Xbox achievements, like when I do something, whether that's like something as small as like, hey, I attended a class, or like, I don't know, I went to the gym, or I got a degree, right? Like, it's like a little achievement in my brain. And I'm like, oh my God, like the serotonin from that is so satisfying. And like, I need to be doing everything. Like, I would literally have days where like in the morning it'd be like, okay, 8 a.m. class. All right, cool. 9 a.m. class. Slay. All right, you have 3 hours. Time for a sorority event. All right, sick. Now you're back in class. Now you got to go practice. And now you have work, by the way. And like, and it's like, that was my whole day. And I legitimately did not have any time other than that. Or I'd be like, oh, I have all that. And then I'd have like a 2-hour window. And then somebody, like, I also volunteered too. And it was like, oh yeah, I have 2 hours. I can totally volunteer. Like that's just how I am. And anyways, I don't know. But sometimes like, I just kind of remember like, okay, it's okay. Like, I want to live life and go enjoy with friends. And I did, to be fair. But like, sometimes like I spent like all weekend working and it was just like, I like would never like wouldn't call out very often. I wish I did. I wish I called out.
Mhm.
Like, who cares? I don't know. I feel like I remember the pre-COVID semester, I was in the real thick of it because it was my recital semester. So I was truly in the trenches. Like if there's a semester I needed to practice, that was the one. That was like that was lock-in semester. And it was like I just turned 21 and it was pre-COVID semester and it was such a busy semester. It was so stressful. And I remember thinking like next semester, I'm gonna let loose. I'm gonna go to the frat parties. I'm gonna go to bars. Like I'm gonna finally do it. Like I just kept like putting it off every semester, like
Yeah.
it's just like a stupid thing. Like, okay, girl, you don't need a party. But like you know what I mean? Like just let loose and have fun and not care. Like finally. And then COVID happened. And then it was just like, oh my God. Like I spent all that time doing all these things. And then they were taken away from me basically. And then I was like, oh my God, I spent all that time doing so many things. And that's what I based my self-worth off of a lot. Dang, we're getting deep. LOL, dude. And yeah, it was just kind of crazy, to get that kind of rug pulled out from under you. And then it's like, why did I work so much? Why was I doing all this? Why didn't I just have fun? And why didn't I just relax? I was mad about it. I was very mad and like angry that and that's why I'm thankful that Twitch happened because like thankfully I didn't fester, I didn't let that thought fester, thankfully I put everything into this other thing that I don't know, I'm just really glad I did and glad that it showed up when it did because I'm just like, yeah, I don't know, that's definitely one of my regrets is like I wish just like let loose and partied, honestly, and just like had fun. Maybe not literally partied, but like you know what I mean, like
enjoy
partied.
life a little more.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I feel like you can relate to that too a little bit.
Yeah,
I think.
No, for sure. Real quick, also, Brandon BW Vlogs, thank you so much for the raid. If you're just coming in, we're doing an interview with the wonderful Mcd00dle. She's a wonderful musician, and she streams on her own channel. You should go check her out. But thank you for the raid. I hope you had a good time playing Fortnite. Usually I get a song. We're in the middle of the interview right now. If you're still around later, though, we'll get you that. Hi, Hawk6 Phoenix. Now you're partying every night with us here on Twitch. Exactly. No, I definitely do relate to that a lot, where it's like, my only self-worth comes from like working and what I can do, and it's honestly even hard sometimes like going out to events, especially right now since I transitioned full-time. It's even worse than it was before, where it's like I feel really guilty doing anything that's like remotely, I guess, just fun or for me, or that's not beneficial to like, whether it's like working on like content stuff or streaming or making streaming better. Like I'll do it and I'll go and I'll try to have fun, but it's like always that voice in the back of my head like, oh, but like I could be spending this time doing other stuff.
Feel that.
But I've had those like many revelations, and I think for me it's like kind of having a life or death experience. I was talking to my chat earlier, but like when I was hit by a drunk driver like a couple years ago, like I think it just like put life into perspective for me. It's where it's like, wow, that really could have been it. And like, what do I have for it? Like, what was I doing? And I think that's when I started like, I don't know, really respecting and doing what I want to do, and like making sure it's like, okay, I need to make time for like friends and family, and just, really enjoying the things I have around me while I have them, and like not worrying too much about like, am I doing this? Am I doing this? Making sure everything's perfect, but just like allowing myself to be able to enjoy life and enjoy like having those times off.
If I could hug you right now, I would, by the way. Thank you. But yeah, no, I get it. Like, I don't know. Well, like obviously our experiences are different, but like, the lesson is the same in a way. You know what I mean? You have this like moment where it's like, oh, what the fuck? What the frick? Sorry.
Yeah.
What the frick was I doing before? Like, what was the point of all this work? Like it's great and it feels good. I don't know, but at the same time, it's like, what the heck? What the like, yeah, if you had that, like if everything ended today, like what would I have been happy with that, So I don't know.
Yeah.
Hashtag deep chat.
No, that's the point here. That's what I like to do. I try to slowly break people down so they tell me the truth.
She got me to trauma dump on stream chat. Oops, sorry, brother. Reel it back in, brother. Anyway, hee pee pee poo poo memes.
Skibbity toilet Riz.
Skibbity toilet, brother.
Hi, internet kid.
That's crazy.
How you doing? What can people expect from you next? What do you got going on that you could tell people?
Uh,
Real. My matching
my
lip
my my
gloss.
first instinct is to say I don't even know what I'm doing tomorrow, but uh,
Real
that's a
confident.
good question. Yeah, good question. Yeah, I'm releasing my Peachtree single soon.
Yeah,
I don't
let's
know
go.
why I keep pushing that off, but yeah, I'm gonna be releasing that soon. That's my first ever song that I'm gonna release on any platform, which is exciting. I don't know why I keep pushing it off. Maybe it's because I'm nervous. I think you know what? I think that's what it really is. And yeah, that's really silly of me, but I think that's really what it is. So yeah, there's that. I want to keep posting on things. I have way too many thoughts and ideas, and you know, because I tell you all of them, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm like, I want to be a DJ. I want to start streaming on TikTok again. I want to start posting YouTube videos. Like, oh my god, I have too many ideas, and it's hard to sort through what do I sort through, and what should I actually do. I guess the thing that probably is fun to do maybe would be the best thing because then it doesn't feel like a chore and I actually stick to it, which is hard to figure out what that is, to be fair. But I don't know. I also want to keep getting better at music. I feel like for a while I stopped getting better and I've been stagnant in like my musician skills, whether that means getting better at sax, because I could always do that, but also maybe learning a new instrument. I don't know. And obviously doing more IRLs. I want to keep doing that. I want to travel. I don't know. I just want to do all the things, but and in being overwhelmed by all the things, I do maybe none of the things.
Real.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm like, dang it. I want
You're
to do
just
all the things. There's too many
sleeping.
things. Which one do I do? Yeah, and then you just end up sleeping the entire day and you're like, "Oh, okay. Well, I guess so." So yeah, anyways, but yeah, I don't know. I think that's me. So, just want to keep on streaming. I want to do all the things and hopefully I'll figure that out. But let me just say that it has been amazing getting to hang out with Chelsea and
Man.
getting
Okay.
not to be too sappy, but like I'm
Okay.
so serious, bro. I feel like this, like genuinely not to be like a freak or anything, but I don't know. Not to get sappy, but dude, I don't know. I feel like truly like I don't know, getting closer and being friends. Like I feel like there's a lot of things that I wouldn't have done if it wasn't for being friends with you and like having our lock-in moments and like I don't know, just like doing things. It's easier for me to do things with a buddy and have an accountability buddy, and I'm
Real.
just really thankful because I don't know, I feel like this is the most refreshed I've felt streaming in a long time, and I think that's pretty thanks to you. So not to talk crazy style, but but yeah, no, I'm so serious about that, and not to be a little weirdo or anything. Yeah, I'm
No,
shy.
for
Anyway.
real. No, I feel the same way. It was like I think we were filming like our Amazing Race video, and I had a moment where I was like, it was like I think one of my like best friends at the moment, and I said that. I was like, oh wait, am I
Cried.
being weird? Just saying
I
like you're like yeah,
No,
like one of the
I
best friends I've ever
almost
had.
cried. Like okay, yeah, I guess the cat's in the bag. We did film that though. We didn't get a response back though. It's fine. But we did actually film it. We had to take a video for Amazing Race, and she literally like we did multiple takes of like like why should you choose us, like what do we, our skills and whatnot. And then there's at one point where she was like, oh, she's like one of my best friends, and I literally just like I literally was like, wait, I'm gonna cry. Like, what? Like, I hope she doesn't feel weird that I think of her that way. Oh my god, not to be a weird. Like, I'm such a willow weirdo. Anyway.
Not
So
me.
yeah, anyways.
No,
I literally
real
tell her all the time. I'm like, I don't know you're friends with me because like you're literally just one of the
girl.
coolest people I know. So
You're like a
that's
thousand times
crazy.
cooler than I can ever be in my entire life. So
Do you hear this?
that's insane.
I can't do this. Oh
Actually
my god.
insane.
Anyways, she's actually insane, Your Honor. Get her locked up, bro. That's crazy. Put her in Arkham or whatever. Something about Batman. Anyway,
Got a little too silly, but no, yeah,
because
I feel
that's
the same way. I'm
got a
so
little too silly.
grateful for Twitch, and I'm grateful that I went to that partner event and knew no one, uh, and
I'm
had the opportunity. Like
crying.
seriously, it's been the best. I'm looking forward to do more IRL streams. We're gonna
Yes.
Chelsea Doodle, International take over the world. Hell yeah, streaming from everywhere.
Period. I'm
Um,
getting silly on front page.
got a little too
Wait, I don't
silly.
mean to take up all your time, but
No, no,
yeah.
you're good. I have one more question for you. Most important question. Everyone gets asked this. But interview. If you can bring one superhero with you into the zombie apocalypse, who are you bringing and why?
Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, chat. Yo, who's your favorite superhero, chat? Drop them into the chat right now. Just because I'm curious,
It could be anyone.
obviously.
I've had people even say like their mom. Like it
And
could be anyone.
yo,
Homelander's
yeah,
crazy, Jason. Absolutely
I don't even know what that is. Yeah, for sure.
not.
Yeah, should take him. Jam and Cooked.
That's
It's
real.
gotta be Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy. Dude, my stream title today is a SpongeBob quote. I'm actually so cooked right now. So maybe them. If I could take them, I would take them.
Okay.
That's real. They got an invisible boatmobile, brother. Like, what more could you want? We're gonna race into the sunlight. Into the sunset, I meant. Sunlight. Sunset, bro.
Okay. That's fair.
Hell yeah.
That's fair. Hell yeah. Where can people find you? If you want to let them know, like, your socials, your alt account when you stream.
So, I'm Mcd00dle with zeros and not O's. And I also have a second account, and it's obviously called Mcd00dle too. I didn't want to confuse anybody. And anyway, and in before somebody's like, but you could have called it Mcd00dle. I know I could have called it Mcd00dle. Anyway, but yeah, so there's that. And then I'm also on YouTube. I actually just recorded a cover and I'm probably gonna post it. I say probably because that's just who I am, unfortunately. And then I'm on TikTok, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Twitter, I'm on whatever else, like I don't know, all of them. I'm on all the things.
MySpace.
And generally, yeah, I'm on MySpace, Facebook. I'm Mcd00dle everywhere except for YouTube. I'm Mcd00dle TV. Sad. Blue Sky. Actually, I have a Blue Sky, but I feel like they never advertise it, so I have like 2 followers, but it's a real thing. It exists. Yeah, and Mcd00dle 3 coming soon to a DJ stream near you, maybe.
Hell yeah.
Imagine.
Let's go. All right, guys. Make sure you go follow her. Go check out her stream. Go prank her and gift a bajillion subs. That'd be super cool.
I'm just saying, you should donate to Chelsea right now. Dono train?
Over to
I'll
Doodles.
Start.
No,
who's trying to match me?
No.
Who's trying to match me?
Oh yeah. Also, not sponsored by Yerba Mate, but one day, for real.
God,
get people addicted.
Yerba Mate, if you're listening, Yerba Mate, please, if you're listening.
Please, absolutely. I'm gonna go on YouTube and just like be a big Yerba Mate on this part.
Yo, one in chat if we have influenced you to buy Yerba Mate. Just wondering.
I know. Just want to see something. Just want to see something for a second. Yerba time one.
All right,
the way I have
cool.
one.
Screenshot it. Screenshot it. Send this clip to them right now. Look at that. We have so many ones.
So many
We're
ones.
Influencers.
Hell yeah. Bought 2 yesterday.
We have the
Let's go. I bought 2 today.
What I'm saying. Oh my god. We've got the influenza.
Oh, wait. Hold on.
Yerba Mate.
I don't know that one. I don't know influenza. Hold up.
Hold on. And what I meant by that was...
thanks for coming. Have a good rest of your stream. I appreciate you stopping by. I took up way too much of your time. I'm so sorry. Enjoy your stream. Guys, go check her out. Thank you so much for being here. All right.
That was crazy.
Have a good night.
Thank you for having me. Bye, chat. Have a good stream. Please stop, Chelsea.